Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Personally, also, I would like to convey my condolences to the family of the Right Honorable Raila Odinga, and I'm taking this on behalf of my family, that of myself.
The words of Julius Caesar, Vini, Vidi, Vici. Those are words that I attribute to the life of Raila Odinga, meaning I came, I saw, I conquered. Raila Odinga came to Kenya, he saw, and he conquered. And for that reason, he shall live in immortality. Rest in peace, Raila Odinga. We forever cherish you. May your soul rest in peace. Thank you.
Thank you, Timothy. Honorable members, as I give the next member, tomorrow morning, leadership has decided that as many of you come to Parliament at 7, we'll have a short prayer of our houses of Parliament. Thereafter, I will provide buses to take you to Nyayo Stadium. Those of you who want to risk driving your cars there with the massive crowds, you are free to do so. Those who would want to get onto the buses and we go collectively and leave your cars in parkings here and be dropped back after the service, can do so. The choice is yours. But be here at 7. I'll be here by 6:30 so that we have a short prayer before we go to Nyayo Stadium. Parashina.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Speaker, yesterday, the entire country awake to the painful news that has shaken the hearts of everyone, from the mountains to the coast and from the lake to the desert, of the passing of our elder, a leader, a liberator, our statesman, Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. Mr. Speaker, it's good to recall that the country has not just lost a leader, but a symbol of courage. A man whom his name will be written in the golden space of our history. Raila Amolo Odinga was not just a politician, but a movement. Today, it has been demonstrated by the crowd from JKI and even outside the Parliament that the Raila Amolo was a movement in this republic. And as we mourn as a country, let us remember what Raila Amolo Odinga fought for this nation, democracy. And he has shown that democracy cannot be gotten freely. He fought. This is a man who went through detention without trial. A man during his political time, he went through prosecution, he went through exile, he suffered for this great nation. The dark days of...
For the record, Raila Amolo Odinga was never exiled. For the record.
Okay.
We must be factual.
Okay. I stand corrected, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, it's good to remember those challenges that Right Honorable Odinga went through. We need to understand also, he bore the weight of our struggle on his shoulders. He wanted this country to be better. And I can confirm that today we are enjoying freedom. We are enjoying the freedom, the space of freedom. And we are seeing a lot of justice in this country because of what he has done for this great nation. He has told us leadership is not about holding spaces of offices, but leadership is holding hope for your people and your country. He has also shown us politics is not a platform of making or creating hatred, but politics is a platform of It's a platform of healing. It's not a platform of building bridges, but also a platform of reconciliation. And reconciliation is not a sign of weakness, but a sign of wisdom. Mr. Speaker, as we celebrate his life, we remember his legacy of multi-party democracy. From 1992, 1990, up to even 2008 and the rest, everyone understands the space that Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga played in this country. The other one is the new Constitution 2010. The new Constitution created the devolved system of government. Through his hard work of the Constitution that he established and fought for, today we do have county governments, and we recall this slogan that power and resources to be channeled to the grassroots. We all enjoy that power and resources within our counties. As a man nation, we need to recognize Raila was not only a national political leader, but also he was a fighter for the man nation. Starting from the land, the colonial land issues, the issues of land injustice. As a man nation, we can see every election we voted for him. He was our hero, and on behalf of the people of Kajiado South, Kajiado County, allow me to convey my condolences to Mama Aida and the Raila family by saying, Pole sana, rest well, Baba. Kenya will never forget about you. Asante sana.
Osoro.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I am just about 4 decades in this world, but the experience I've had with Right Honorable Raila Odinga can have me write over 50 or 100 pages just about him, Honorable Speaker. And my first encounter with him was when I was introduced to him by his late son, Fidel Castro Odinga, in 2008. And would later reconnect about 4 years later, that was about 2012, when I was go here, come here man for the Honorable John Mbadi, without a dream of ever becoming a politician. And it's actually at that point that Right Honorable Raila Odinga identified me, and I then joined the Youth League of the Orange Democratic Movement, then under the leadership of Rashid, who we later hosted in discipline, of course, within the party structures. I would then later, Honorable Speaker, be tried to run, of course, under ODM. In his wisdom, then he told me that I was a young man and I couldn't manage to run. I then shifted to the little-known, the Kenya National Congress now later, that got me elected in this House, Honorable Speaker. Of course, the other one is history. But the experience I've had with that, the late Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, you would actually think I've known him for the entire of my life of 40 years. Because you will sit with him, Honorable Speaker, and you hear stories about this country, things that you don't even know about your village. He'll tell you about your village, your clans, your grandfathers, everything about you. He had immense history. A man of his stature and age, you would be surprised, you will actually be mesmerized to learn that he knows so much and keeps it in his mind, remembers the names of people who struggled with him and even those who live, and even the history of, that before he even came before he was born. He was a man full of wisdom. Somebody said earlier this morning, Mr. Speaker, that we equate him to he's our current Nelson Mandela. But I also want to add, Mr. Speaker, that he carried all the attributes of the great men that this world has ever had. Not just Nelson Mandela. There is Mahatma Gandhi, Honorable Speaker. There is the late Sankara, Honorable Speaker. There is Martin Luther King. All those attributes that we admire in those great leadership, Honorable Speaker, befell or were bestowed on one man. And you would be surprised how one man is blessed. Blessed with a political acumen that is unmatched in this world.
How can your list of great men in Africa forget Nyerere and Nkrumah?
I am well guided, Honorable Speaker. Yes. I'll carefully evade Nkrumah part. But I'll applaud Nyerere, Honorable Speaker, for a discussion that I'll have with you in some other forum out of what I have read about him, Honorable Speaker. But how can one man be such blessed? Political acumen, you'll actually think he's a spirit. You will see a person with a mass following, loved freely, Honorable Speaker. But even above that, still able to keep his family together. For me, Honorable Speaker, today what I've seen is more, motivating. That amidst the political, terrains that happens in this country, Honorable Speaker, Right Honorable Prime Minister still kept his family together, his children together, went through school, and they are all able to maneuver around the terrains of this country, Honorable Speaker. That he even passed on, not very far away from the daughter, Winnie Odinga. So that's something that we really need to learn about. That when you continue moving around these murky games of politics, that we should not forget about our families, we should not run away from our families, we keep them together, because at the end of it all, during your sunset years, that very person that will be next to you is your blood. And that is what we've learned today, Honorable Speaker, in the entire story about Right Honorable Raila Odinga. Finally, Honorable Speaker, we really had to do so much for him, but we couldn't, as a people and as a nation, even appreciate him much. And even as he rests, I beg of him that may he find a soft place to land on, Honorable Speaker, to sleep, to lay his head on behalf of this country, because I don't really think that this country gave him the best that we ought to have given him, but may his soul rest in eternal peace. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Majority Leader, and like everybody else, you have 10 minutes.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and allow me, Honorable Speaker, to take this opportunity to now convey my very sincere condolences to the Odingas, right from Mama Ida Odinga and her children, and the extended Odinga family, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I was privileged and indeed honored to have been part of the delegation that went to repatriate the body of our departed hero. And it has been indeed a great honor to accord him that last respect. And allow me, Honorable Speaker, to request Kenyans, even as we express our condolences to the family, to allow this great man not only to rest in peace, Honorable Speaker, but to be sent off with the dignity that he deserves. We have seen the outpouring of multitudes in the streets, right from the airport to Kasarani Stadium. And I want to speak to them, Honorable Speaker, and ask them to please accord the family and Baba the dignity and honor that he deserves. And even as we mourn him, and I know the outpouring of love that we have seen is understandable, but I would also request them, Honorable Speaker, to also allow a few protocols to be observed, and especially those around the family. Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, allow me to say that I came to know the late Raila Odinga back in 2013 when I joined this House. And often, Honorable Speaker, I found myself on the opposite side of where Raila Odinga was and where you were that time, Honorable Speaker. And you recall. And my maiden speech in this House, Honorable Speaker, as a new member of Parliament, was one where I described Raila Odinga as an old man who was away in London then. And we had a very heavy altercation here with the then member for Nyando. But that defined my entry into national politics, Honorable Speaker. And I later came to meet the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga through his brother, the Honorable Osoro Odinga, who remains my very good friend and whom we served together in the Public Investments Committee when I served as his vice chair in my first term. And I remember, Honorable Speaker, one day when we were in a report writing retreat in Mombasa, the Honorable Osoro Odinga asked me, "What is your problem with my brother?" And I told Oburu, "I have no problem with your brother, but I have to do what I am doing for my politics." 3 weeks after that, the elder brother Oburu introduced me to Baba. And my first meeting with Baba He called me my son. And he told me, I saw what you said of me in Parliament. But keep up. And that is a man that Raila Odinga was, a man who encouraged younger leadership to be the best that they could be. And he has nurtured many, many leaders, Honorable Speaker, who are in this house and even outside of this house, Honorable Speaker, from governors, ministers, members of parliament, and even presidents around Africa, Honorable Speaker. You know, Raila Odinga is a man who was a firm Pan-Africanist, somebody who firmly believed in a stronger and united Africa. Honorable Speaker, Raila Odinga also came across to me as a man who used reconciliation and dialogue as his tools of leadership. And many people never understood that Raila Odinga understood that in leadership, you will always have disagreements, but disagreements must never define leadership. That leadership must be about reconciliation and dialogue. And I had the rare privilege, Honorable Speaker, 3 years ago, when sadly Baba was sick, again to reach out to him in Nairobi Hospital and speak to him about a call to dialogue. And later when he met with President William Ruto, the National Dialogue Committee was birthed. I remember the long nights we spent with Raila Odinga, President William Ruto, Junet Mohammed, former governor for Mombasa, Joho, and a few other people in Mombasa, up to about 3:30 a.m. in the morning. And the resilience that Baba showed to me that night, that he would spend hours in the interest of bringing Kenya together. That is why, Honorable Speaker, I say, for me, his leadership was defined by reconciliation and dialogue. Even the birth of the broad-based government, Honorable Speaker, again shows who Raila Odinga was and how he truly believed in dialogue and reconciliation among us Kenyans. And he has left us at a time that we not only had a broad-based government, but a time that he was trying to bring everybody to the table to dialogue and do what was best for our country, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I had a short moment yesterday when I spoke here, and you must forgive me because when I remembered my conversation with Raila Odinga on the 14th of September, when my dad passed away and he called me, it evoked memories of what he had said to me, because on the 1st of June, we met again in Homa Bay. And as we were having a cup of tea, we had a discussion about the number of teaspoons I was putting in my teacup. And I told him my dad would have like 4 teaspoons, and he wasn't taking sugar himself. And we had that discussion. And he happened to ask me, how old is your dad? I told him 105. And he told me, no way. And we had a discussion and agreed that later he would pay him a visit, only that he had to call me on the 14th of September last month when I lost my dad. Not only to condole with me, but tell me I owe your family a visit because I am unwell, I'll not be able to visit, but I owe your family a visit. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, it was heavy on me yesterday. And it was a good thing, Honorable Speaker, that I was honored to represent this House and Parliament as an institution to go and repatriate his body from India. And the honor that the Indian government has given to our statesman is something that we thank the Indian government for, and the Kenyan government also for all the support that they have accorded to the family to give this great man